Hello, good evening, friends. God bless you. Today I was meditating on hopes and dreams, and then I realized the situation or the experience that Jewish people had during time of Jesus. Now, if you look into the last book of Old Testament, Malachi, and the first chapter or the first book in New Testament, Matthew, it's just few pages, right? But time-wise, nearly 400 plus years has been passed between Malachi to New Testament, and Jewish people were waiting for deliverer, for redeemer, who can restore their land back, their kingdom back, who can lead them out of bondage and slavery. And it is not 1 year, 2 years, 400 years. There was no sign, there was no revelations, there were no prophecies, there were no prophets, there was no dreams, vision, nothing. A total silence. Now, why they went through what they went through, we are not going to looking into those areas. Or there were some times where they were a little bit successful, but overall their hopes and dreams were crushed and crushed and crushed and crushed over and over again. And then you might have the same experience in life, that you had a hope for something, you had a hope for a child, you had a hope for a marriage, you had a hope for a good spouse, you had a hope for financial stability, you had a hope for good health. And one after another, those hopes or dreams has been crushed. And then put yourself in the situation like Jewish people. Now they are oppressed in the Roman rule, very, very brutal rule. And in those times, here comes Jesus on the horizon, who starts doing miracles, who talks about deliverance, who talks about love and peace, and he reignited their hope, their dream. And they thought that now we have a Messiah, now we have someone who will fulfill our long lost hope, long lost dreams. And they shouted, Hosanna. They thought that he is the king. Because in Jewish mind, the getting out of this oppression was the biggest thing. Romans, or the foreigners, who were ruling on them, they were their enemies. And then when Jesus was crucified and died on the cross, think about that day. Their reignited hope, their reignited dreams were crushed again, and this time very brutally. And that is why on the road to Emmaus, when two disciples were walking and Jesus came along and walked with them, and they didn't know it was Jesus, they were very sad. And the one thing they said, and when Jesus asked why you are sad, and the one thing they said, we hope that he will re-establish the kingdom. But now he's gone. Think about the disciples. Peter woke up and he said, now what I will do? Our hopes, our dreams are crushed. And then say, okay, I have to go back to fish again. He picked up his nets and went for fishing. Friends, that hope was placed in a deliverance from the oppressions of the Romans or the foreigners. But truly they missed that who is the real oppressor, who is the real enemy, is the forces of darkness, or devil we call it. And Jesus came not to just deliver from the earthly rulers. Jesus came to defeat the death itself, the sickness itself, the forces of darkness itself. And not only he defeated them, he rose again. He conquered everything. And now he gave the same right, same authority to his disciples and said that go and release the captives, heal the sick, and to the point he said, raise the dead. Now think about this. Even on one side, on one hand, it looks like that the hopes and dreams were crushed. But if you look at the bigger picture, God has defeated the biggest enemy of humankind, Jewish people. And God re-established the identity, the authority, the power that he has intended to give it to Adam and Eve to rule the earth. That was the intention. The Adam and Eve were to rule the earth, but they pass on that authority to devil. And Jesus came and took that authority back from devil and gave it back to us, you and me. So if you are sick, if you are waiting for breakthrough, if you had hoped and that hope was crushed over and over again, then you need to realize that Jesus has conquered bigger than what you had hoped for, the greater things. Jeremiah 29:11 says that I have planned to prosper you and not to harm you. That is our Father. He has given us more than we can imagine, more than we can ask. And he loves you so much. So don't lose hope, because Jesus has conquered the biggest enemy. And he can do anything for you and me because he loves us so much. God bless you. Thank you.